Warning. The following may contain concepts, ideas, and/or reflections unique in nature and not yet approved by government and/or corporate entities. This content is for entertainment purposes only and is not intended to stimulate further reflection or to perpetuate additional discourse beyond the scope already outlined by institutional curriculum.
Little test.
And I'm good.
Little.
All right.
Test.
All right. Let's get into it.
Okay. Golly. I think.
Perhaps. All right. Let me.
No. Let's just explain one thing. Right now, this setting is a little on the laid back side, and for one reason is we are sort of laid back. We're in a couch that you can't possibly sit straight up in. But this is not necessarily going to be the a permanent format. Unlike your
we gonna do some juggling or something?
No, I mean, see, on your first format with the long hair and the beard, you did a lot of research. Right now, it's more of a casual setting, but we could bring facts and figures and include that as inserts.
Well, in
our little chat.
That kind of reminded me, though. It made me kind of think of one of the first comments that I had was like, "You need more graphics." And I was just kind of thinking of that actually last night. I was like, isn't cartoonish sort of graphics more of a thing for children? And isn't it more of a mature mind that's able to juggle ideas with just like the spoken word or the written word and imagine and conceptualize inside their brain without a little cartoon figure?
Yeah, like if you're sitting...
Hey, guys, here's the U.S. economy. And everything is like that. It's like made for kids.
Yeah, I mean, if you're sitting in a classroom, do you actually need to be looking at the teacher when they're speaking?
I'm sorry, ma'am. I only learn with stuffed animals. If you could please explain the algebra with a couple stuffed animals role playing,
or if you
that
could
would really
string
help me
some
out.
lights across, your body and have them flashing and vibrating and pulsating.
I like colors. I like loud noises. Are you writing all this down, ma'am? I
when
mean,
you read a
you
book,
want me to learn, don't you?
When you read a book, do you need a whole bunch of illustrations, like to help you along, or is the written word in on pages enough for you to actually
absorb it,
glean, absorb?
All right. So
assimilate.
I think what we were our game plan was going to talk about humanity and its innate desire for the metaphysical, the ethereal, superstition, and all these things that are seemingly hardwired in our system, no matter how much we try to shake it.
Well, and I think people in leadership role understand this, and so if they're not using religious fervor as a means to guide and control and manipulate, then you have corporate heads doing the same thing, using buzzwords, using word magic. You see this a lot. Lawyers use it all the time, casting spells in courtroom, trying to hypnotize, or in other ways, either use their words as powerful tools or try to, like the term, twist my words or manipulate someone else's words to mean something quite different than what they intended it to be. So I think words in and of themselves are the the means by which spells are cast today.
Yeah,
Or broken.
But dude, I mean, words I think are only a part of the bigger picture of all the different things that people can put spiritual meaning or put. I mean, we seem to love idol worshiping. I mean, the Bible talks about idol worshipers. And it's weird that for thousands of years, it's always been an issue where you leave people alone for a while and they'll just gravitate to some like little piece of wood or something and be like, the gods are coming through this piece of wood. We have to put it on a mantelpiece and sacrifice an animal to it every week. So, yeah, people have that innate, seeming like primordial, maybe coming from when we were pantheists, worshiping every piece in nature was related to a god or a spirit or a deity. And now, I mean, even the most scientific person, well, even science itself, if it's complex enough, people start speaking science as though it's almost you trust in science, don't you? You believe in the power and might of science. Science can take your life and it can give it.
Well, I think there's a parameter of thinking in science that you can't really step outside of those parameters, because then you're entering into a heretical way of thinking. And this seems actually contrary to people professing to be scientific or logical, because they can't accept the fact that there is possibly another, and I'm not going to say way of looking at things, because that's another realm in itself, or a component to it. Your perspective is slightly different than my perspective, so your answer or your conclusion might be acceptably different, and I can accept that. But we're talking about something that, from a logical point of view, that there would have to be certain universal truths. If someone falls from a 20-story building, it's fairly conclusive that their impact is going to be significant at
Not
the
if
end
we're
of
in a
it.
simulation, dude. Not if it's all a part of a computer program.
Well, anybody
I saw it on the Matrix.
What I
once,
notice
dude.
about people who talk about this is all a simulation is they typically don't have any health problems, and they got a lot of money in their pocket or in their bank or in their Bitcoin wallet. And so it's kind of nice to say, it's easy to say, I feel no pain.
Well, most of them are not willing to take a swift kick to the nuts just to put that to the test and see how well the program can simulate pain in the nutsack. So yeah, I mean, when you're sitting down in the comfort of your own home and you got a beer in one hand and a joint in the other, it's pretty easy to be like, yeah, nothing's real. Right?
Yeah.
But get some severe pooping cramps and shit gets pretty real pretty fast.
Especially when you're walking in a city that is completely inhospitable to people's most basic urgent needs.
But I was thinking when you mentioned the truth, I was watching or listening to Plato's Republic last night on audio.
Were you?
Yes, as a sophisticate, yes. No, but I was actually surprised on the tone of the audiobook and how modern it sounded. For one thing, it kind of has like a bit of a comedy like
Component
voicing
aspect to
Oh
it?
yeah, like he's clearly being like fairly witty. And sometimes some of his friends are kind of like taking the piss out of him a bit, or like cutting him down, but kind of in a humorous way. So there was but what's interesting is his overarching concepts. None of them are hard to understand. None of them are complex in a way that you need to understand how ancient Greek society operates. They're truths that are just feel just as crisp and clear today as they probably did in his time.
Sure.
And that's an interesting component about the truth is it doesn't require a whole lot of context. And most lies and deceits are you need to learn the lore, you need to learn the lexicon, you need to get indoctrinated, or you need to have some sort of person guiding you into this cult. And truth doesn't really operate like that.
Yeah. Well, I was kind of thinking about like more in lines of the words that you speak, you're held accountable for, and I mean, Christ talked about that. Every idle word that will proceed out of your mouth, you will give an account of at the day of judgment. Boom. And that kind of really controls things. We could all walk around. I'm not going to say, hey, I don't like that. But if you think about it, stand-up comedians would be really basically, even though their routine is well thought out, they do say a lot of flippant things and flippant remarks. They might even go off script a bit, and that can land them into a bit of trouble. But so they would be on the opposite end of having a close leash on the words that you use or you choose to use. Anything
Okay.
to say about that?
I mean, I kind of zoned out a bit. No.
Gee,
No,
I
I
hope,
mean no. I mean, okay, so you're talking about precision of speech to elucidate. Is that the correct
Well,
word?
yeah, and I think this is becoming very. Gee, I'm trying to choose the right
See,
word.
so this is an example of what you wouldn't want to do if you wanted to use a precision of words.
Well,
But man, I'm getting hit with a lot of sunshine here.
yeah, it's we're.
I told you we should have
choosing-
started earlier.
Well,
No, okay, so I mean, it's hard to go off of your ramblings of words and their precision, because I think the crux
I
of
can
it.
give you a lot of examples. I mean,
That
there's
wasn't
a
an
lot of-
invitation to continue
There's a
talking, by
lot
the way.
of speech that is completely unacceptable. Whether it's in the classroom, you certainly have to choose your words in a courtroom.
Well, bringing it back to manifesting, or to a sort of conjuring, anything that's in this the spiritual realm. I think that we do have a lot of that. Even in politics, you see people kind of like gravitating towards almost like a religion, where you could a thought could be heretical, and in a sense
Sure.
that goes into that like primordial, where we have these, we'll start putting a belief into some like unseen force that exists, and then we'll build that up in our mind to the point that anything that is spoken about this unseen force that we deem to be heretical is like you're going to have a bad omen.
Well,
or on the other side, anything that we build up to the size of a cathedral in our
We've entered
mind.
a golden era, and if you don't chant that and aren't feeling a part of it, you could, by saying something contrary, break that magic spell. That perhaps, don't you want to live and enter into a golden era? There's all
Yeah,
kinds of
it gets away from simply a logical breakdown of the grays into heresy or a believer. You're a believer. Are you a believer in technology? Are you a believer in medical science? You can't take antibiotics if you don't believe in the entirety of everything that a giant pharmaceutical company. Are you not going to take your prescribed antidepressant pills if you or you're?
Do you think that you're better than these people these ascended masters that have spent 6 years in medical college?
So now instead of worshiping God, you have these people that worship humanity. Oh, you're going to go against all of collective science or all of the computer scientists and the programmers.
And there was a time recently when, well, let's say at least maybe going back 40, 50 years ago, when having contrary, or let's just say even among evolutionists, there could be debates about, since nobody went in, we haven't had a time machine where you could go back 100 million years BC. There was disputes, and healthy disputes, about possibly this happened this way. That's why we're calling it a theory or a hypothesis. And that's perfectly acceptable because it's not pertinent to know what happened 100 million years ago. So if one wants to engage in such a debate or a discussion, perfectly healthy.
But you know what?
If you're calling yourself a scientist, which my science teacher said the first thing to science is objectivity, observing, and not necessarily concluding. But anyways, go on. Sorry to dominate this.
Well, it was. I was just gonna say that you're the people that do not want a healthy debate are people that are snake oil salesmen or people that are basically, a faith healer, whatever they are. People that are perpetrating a scam and they know they're perpetrating a scam are not into healthy debate. And that's where you definitely want to create a fervor amongst people where you can yell down anybody, any dissenting voice, any critical voice can be slapped down. And that's typically the modus operandi of a con artist.
Well, can you imagine being down in Jonestown and just, when they're passing around the Kool-Aid, you just say, gee, I don't know if I really want to do this.
Right.
I mean, the expression on other people's faces, really? Are you questioning, our leader?
And in a sense, you could say that even when we've had belief in something greater than the physical, you could say that it's almost always been informed by other people. I think the biggest criticisms of Christianity and the church are stemming from the humanity side of it, not necessarily the Christ teachings and the actual spiritual side, but it's the group, it's the organization, it's the collective. It's that if you voice your opinion and it doesn't follow along with the church doctrine, you are going to be excommunicated and cast out. And that type of basically a human organization that is built itself around the Christian idea is really what turns people off of any religion, really, whether it's that or Buddhism or whatever. It's a lot of it is it's a collective of individuals. You can say this, you can't say that.
Yeah, just what's that one expression lawyers like to use at the end of their little correspondence with?
I'm a lying piece of shit.
No, govern thyself accordingly. Doesn't that just strike terror in you? Because
Well, not me, but yeah.
Well, no, I mean, but I think it's to impart a bit of fear. You have no idea what's about to go down in that courtroom.
Well, in that, coming back again, circling back to Plato's Republic, it was interesting that like one of the first debates is about justice, and there's a lot of kind of cyclical where Plato is just kind of beating down all of his friends' arguments on the definition of what justice is, and
Just us.
and it kind of comes to the conclusion that, I mean, you could almost say that justice is a bit of an illusory term, and one that people will say because we like the sound of justice, but to simply say that there isn't really justice, it's just strong controlling the weak, or people in power wielding that power. And a tyranny could wield that power the same as a democracy can, and there's no dividing line between the two, because might is right, essentially. What do you guys say about that?
Not much.
Well, when you got some,
I mean, I can agree with it. Obviously, I don't really have anything to add to it.
well, if you don't have anything to add, maybe we should cut it short here.
Okay, so this is just, really touching upon word witchery, sorcery, conjuring. That's the term I wanted to. What they call this manifesting abundance, or conjuring. I think George Carlin could probably
You can't
have something to say a little bit more witty than we would about this, but it really is a sense of this. We are really, our primordial past is really in our modern world. And
you can get rid of religion, but you can't get rid of worshiping. It will always be ingrained. People will always gravitate to worshiping something, worshiping money, worshiping technology, worshiping medical science. It might be a consequence of our imagination, which is not necessarily a negative thing, but it definitely can run. It can kind of control a person, and separate us from the truth. And the truth is the most important thing.
yeah, and we shouldn't be afraid in looking at the truth and accepting different possibilities. There's a lot of things happening.
Look, the truth is making my arms glow.
Yeah, but nothing will do that like actually going to the gym, and then you're really going to see your arms glow.
Well, grow
so you
or
could
glow?
be manifesting abundance in the realm of muscle, but unless you actually do something, your mind can only propel your body to manifest that abundance that you really.
Yeah, if you want to manifest something, manifest your ass into the gym, manifest a good healthy diet.
I'm going to want to manifest some breakfast pretty soon.
All right, well, it sounds like
How
that's
do I
a wrap.
do that? I raise my hands, close my eyes, and just say breakfast, breakfast. I'm feeling it. It's entering.
All right, I
Anyways,
think that's enough.
There's a tidbit of thought.
Well, tidbit from you, a chunk from me,
A big morsel from.
All right, guys.
No ego there.
No, none.
No.
Anyways,
All right, think for yourselves. Have fun. Don't live in fear. Don't be afraid to think. And but do watch your words, because, of course, we've got what do you call it? Kind of like religious zealots that are in and out of society looking to catch up someone on what they think is heretical.
Well,
One bl-
okay, just one
last
one
thing.
last thing. The things that you can manifest are inside of yourself, and in that sense, irreverency is going to result in irreverency in the mind, and irreverency in the mind is going to affect what you do and how healthy you feel and how spiritually edified you feel. So,
like Christ said, the kingdom of heaven is within you.
exactly. So I do think that, you know, what you're doing is, who gives a flying. Okay. Should I swear here? No.
No. Try not to. It's
Who gives a flying, striking something very vigorously about what people think about what you say? But it does matter what you think, and if you're irreverent with yourself, then it can be something that weakens you. I don't want to say manifest some, because
I already
That'd be-
used that word ad nauseum, so you can't use that now.
you do make me nauseous. All right, we're gonna stop it there.
Guy knows his Latin.
All right, later.